Hello everyone, it's me DeoGenZ, ready to enter, hopefully what will be our final deep battle Colosseum run. We've delved deep into the under, deeper than we've ever delved before. Nobody's taken such a dark dive into these dangerous and disastrous folk, but we did. I did, DeoGenZ, to face Deep King, who will have a shadow shuckle. So all we have to do is shuckle on up to the top of the ranks by defeating these, wow, pathetically under-leveled pokes. Alright, this is still just the first match, but of the last Deep Colosseum entry I believe we're going to ever have. I can't imagine anyone else, unless Gonzap decides to enter this kind of Colosseum, and he's not one for any sort of matchup. He doesn't really care about grunts like these. He only wanted to seek vengeance on us, and he got it, so why would he show up again to risk losing that vengeance? Only so he can try and kick our ass again, only to fail? Because the second time around, with our further experienced pokes from being in this Deep Colosseum tournament, he won't be able to stop us, so it's in his best interest to stay away from wherever we are going. If that's to the Colosseum, that is deep. He will not take a dive into that. Smart, smart. But still, I am surprised to see that this far into our matches in the Deep Colosseum tournament run, such weak pokes are introduced. I mean, these are basic pokes. Shuppet can evolve, and it's not. Ninkata can evolve, and it's not. If that was a Shed Ninja, things would have been a bit more interesting. I guess I would have to potentially switch out, or just use Toxic. I don't think that it can resist Toxic, and one turn of poisoning will defeat it, since it only has 1 HP. And that's a wrap on the Horsea. See you later. How dare you insult my strength by shoving these fools in front of my face? If I wanted a waste of space, I would have went to the Mountain Battle Colosseum. Well, it's not really a Colosseum. Mountain Battle, or Battle Mountain, whatever you want to call it. Mount Battle, I think it is, really. It's a series of mini platform Colosseums over mountainous lava ranges and all sorts of things, and we will eventually see that. But this is a full-blown Colosseum. This is where you have tournaments, battle after battle after battle, and a fun mode to use if you don't want to utilize the same Pokemon, but you don't have any games to connect to transfer your pokes in, because I believe that won't work until the main game is beaten anyway. But the game has a mode where you can use random pokes in different rankings in different tournaments outside of the main story, outside of the single player. So it's an opportunity for you and a friend to grab a GameCube controller, and even though you don't have any of the Game Boy Advance games, it allows you to still play along with other pokes that are randomly selected and fun to use, fun to see who can do what with whatever is given. The only thing is, I think that since it's not on the GBA, or it's not a DS controller kind of situation, your opponent can see your moves just as much as you can see theirs. So it's fair, I suppose, in that manner. Those moves are not hidden. But you don't want my moves to be hidden. You want to see every move I make to get through to the semi-finalist. And oh, look at that. Now Kecleon has suddenly changed into a water type. How unfortunate for it. And very favorable for Phampi! Amphi. Not really Phampi, but Amphi. Amphiaros. The Furious Ampharos. What I like about this run of Colosseum is that if you watched my Crystal walkthrough, we have a lot of pokes similar. We've got Suicune, which we didn't get to use in the walkthrough because it was a legendary, and I didn't want to utilize legendary, but in Colosseum, things are different. Suicune's my favorite of the legendary trios. I don't know why. I guess because I started with Pokemon Crystal, so it's got a certain nostalgia to it that I will never forget. And yeah, you hit Horsey not so effectively, but guess what? Amphi is still around, and we have Ampharos. I don't think that Ampharos was on our team in Crystal, per se, but it was encountered, and I think it was on our team in Heart Gold. Of course, Typhlosion was my starter as Cyndaquil. Jumpluff we had as Mr. Poof. Umbreon and Espeon, I would have loved to had one of them on our team, but since I knew we had both in Colosseum, I said, bah, raising one is not really... Well, I had Umbreon, actually. I shouldn't say that. It wasn't not worth it. It just took a long time, a lot of training at night, where in this game, you start out with Umbreon and Espeon, and it's really pleasant because you didn't get to transfer anything you got from Crystal, and things were sad. But it's nice. It's nice to see all my favorite second-gen pokes appearing in a third dimension. Second gen going 3D! And we will see further 3D when X and Y hits October. I'm so excited for that. So excited! And I bet a bunch of you are too. I don't even know what sort of coverage I should do of it on my channel. I really don't have the technology, probably not even the time to do it when it comes out. Of course, it's got to be released during like one of my busiest semesters yet. I'm going to try and learn Japanese, which will not be necessary, finally, because this release will be worldwide. Unlike the past iteration releases of, say, Diamond and Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold and Soul Silver for that matter, because I remember I imported, I actually imported a game from Japan. That was the first one, Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And getting it earlier in Japanese was the thing to do for a walkthrough, just so people could see it earlier. Didn't happen to be the earliest I could have got it because it came in the mail very late, but it was early nonetheless. But this time, it's going to be released worldwide. October, whatever day that is, I forget. I just know it's October, and then I'll pay more attention when GameStop starts giving out pre-orders. I was going to say pre-releases. They're not going to release it earlier than the actual release date. That's illegal. But pre-orders, I will wait around then. But I'm excited. I'm really excited. I don't need to import it to get it first, but I really don't have the technology to record it. I don't have any sort of 3DS connector or 3DS emulator to my PC capture system. So if anybody knows in the comment section below what's a good way to capture 3DS, maybe just on camera. I do have an HD camera. That is a possibility. And I do have a quiet apartment mainly to myself. My roommate's usually not here, so it's a possibility, but let me know below. Let me know below in the comments, because this episode is pretty much wrapped up and completed. Kicked ass in the semifinals, and in the next episode, we finally face the Deep King.